Okay, good. This class will be a little bit short today. I have something to do, and then for about 15 minutes, I'll come back and I will resume the class. Here we go. Now, first of all, let's begin the day with charity. Charity, tzedakah. Tzedakah will bring the future redemption. Give charity every day. You should have at least one charity box in your house. Fill it up and give it to the poor after it's filled up or whenever you want to. All right.
Yeah, you put something in there. You did. You did.
Good, wonderful. Parshas Achrei Mot Kedoshin. This was a speech given by Lubavitcher Rebbe in 1991. 1991, Yud Gimel Iyar, 1991. And it's relevant to this week's Torah portion. Let's see what it says. The kesher, the connection, im with. Amaduba, what we said before, Lacharona, recently. Orot HaGeula, regarding the true and complete redemption of Jewish people. Okay, what is this redemption of the Jewish people? I know we've talked about it a lot of times, but Judaism is based on this historical event that occurred 3,300 and 30 years ago, something like that. And it is that all the Jewish people, the whole entire nation, they were all slaves in Egypt. Egypt is not the same. It's the same place as it was back then, but it's not the same people or the same ideas or the same philosophy or the same religion, the same race or whatever it is. Anyway, it was a place called Egypt, and it ruled the whole world. Egypt ruled the whole entire world, and they ruled the world. Especially, they had tremendous powers, spiritual powers as well. The Torah tells us that even school children were able to change sticks into snakes. They ruled the whole world. And the Jewish people had no powers, zero powers. They didn't have the power even to take a stroll or something like that. No normal powers they had. No rights and no the abilities. They were slaves. They had to do what they were told. They had no basic free will. They had to live where they were told, and they had to wake up when they were told and go to sleep when they were told. They had to do everything. Even though they did have wives and they had children, but that was in order to make more slaves, to have more like cattle, have more cattle, the better, bigger flocks. So there were a lot of Jews, but they had no power whatsoever. And God, the creator of the universe, took them out. Why he put them in the first place is a big question. They were there for like 210 years of slavery, and they didn't do anything wrong. They were born in slavery. Which that, by the way, explains a lot of bad things that happen to the Jews now. It's just that God just decides that's what's going to happen. It's not because they did sins or because they were evil, because of this. In any case, so they all got out. But the fact is they all did not get out. The Torah tells us that only 1/5 of the Jews got out of Egypt. And the other 4/5, after all the 10 plagues, they didn't want to leave. They still didn't want to leave. They refused to leave Egypt. What their motivation was, I don't know, but the main motivation was they didn't want to leave their comfort zone, just like me and you. Everybody wants to do. Shalom. But then they got the Torah. The first of the 10 commandments of the Torah is, I am God that took you out of Egypt. To believe in God, the God that's active in the world that took the Jews out of Egypt. That's the first of the 10 commandments. Why do we have to believe that God took us out of Egypt? Because it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. But in the future, it's going to be a Gula Emita, is going to be a true redemption. We won't go back into exile. There won't be a destruction of the temple, things like that. And it'll be complete. All the Jews are going to go out. What are they going to go out of? They're going to go out of their attitude. They're going to go out of their world, connection to the world. Instead of them being part of the world, they're going to realize the world is part of the Torah. The world is part of, you could say it that way, of God, that they're put here to fix up the whole world. Not the world is going to affect them negatively, but the Jews are going to affect the world positively. Everything that happens in the world that's not the way it should be, the Jews will fix up so that it'll be the way it should be. There won't be war, there won't be poverty, there won't be depression, there won't be the craziness, aggression and addictions and all these crazy things. That's the whole world. And the Jewish people, they'll know God. They'll know God. Just like people nowadays, if they're geniuses, they know music. The guy's a genius in music, knows mathematics. Einstein knows physics. It's an amazing thing. The Jewish people will know the source of music, the source of mathematics, the source of physics, the source of how to make money, the source of it. It says money will be like dirt. No, there won't be any problems with money. The only problems that people will have is how can I get to know God better? My creator, how can I do what my creator wants? Okay, that's called the future redemption. And it's going to come not just for the Jews, but for the whole entire world. And it's going to come through the Jews, through the Jews. That's the idea of Mashiach. Mashiach is going to be a Jew that's going to change the priorities of all mankind, that everyone is only going to be interested in fixing up this world according to the Torah. No one's going to be interested in going to heaven. It won't be an issue whatsoever. And everyone will be positive. Everyone will see, I am great. I am being created by God. I'm going to get the job done. Everyone. But we're waiting for this every day. And we're hoping that it will come every day. Now, this whole idea of the future redemption, it's a thing that will come in an instant because it's a massive change that cannot be caused in a gradual way. It's a massive change in people, but we have to prepare for it in a gradual way so that we can accept this amazing change that people suddenly will stop being selfish. How is this going to be? Like it says, there's a law in the Torah. It says, that it'll happen immediately, quickly. Like it says, a person that takes a vow that he will not drink wine on the day Mashiach comes. There's a thing in Judaism called vows. Let me make that. A Jew takes a vow and he says, I swear. Oh, I ran the wrong one. Here we go. A Jew makes a vow and he says, I swear, I will not drink wine on the day that Mashiach comes. Right? The Mashiach is going to come. I won't drink wine on that day. It's sort of a joke, right? I mean, how do you know when Mashiach is going to come? So he says, in other words, it's not going to come. Don't worry about it. The law is, that's one opinion anyway. The law is it's forbidden to drink wine forever. Why? Because immediately Mashiach can come. It says even more that a Kohen that makes the vow, he certainly can't do it. He can't drink wine. There's another, that even a Kohen that doesn't make a vow. There's one opinion that says that the Kohanim, the priestly class in Israel, the Kohanim, people nowadays that they're Kohen, it says a person that's a Kohen, he can never drink wine without the vow. He can never drink wine. Why? Because the Beit HaMikdash can come down, it's supposed to come from heaven. Mashiach is already, the holy temple, third temple is already ready, and it's supposed to come down, and it takes 24 minutes to undo drunkenness. You walk around, whatever, you go to sleep for a while, put water on your face, do whatever you can. It takes minimum 24 minutes. Says it could be that it's 24 minutes from now when you make the vow, and you'll have to go and serve in the Beis HaMikdash. So in other words, it could be that the Beis HaMikdash will come within 23 minutes, and then you won't be ready. You won't be able to go. If you're a Kohen, but if you're not a Kohen and you make a vow, I am not going to drink wine, right? I swear I will not drink wine on the day that the Beis HaMikdash comes, or the day the Mashiach comes, is you can never drink wine. Why? Because every day Mashiach can come. You have to keep a vow. Very important in Judaism. So therefore, what should everybody do in order to bring this redemption quicker? Is matim litakev. So therefore, we should delay and explain what exactly is this future redemption. Ubezeh yakel, and now it'll be easier lahavin to understand ma tzorich liyot, what has to be tochen avoda. What do we have to do in order to prepare for it? In order to bring this redemption sooner, because the whole thing depends on what we do. Judaism stresses that no one can do your work for you. People can help you. You can be helped. There can be big tzaddikim that their suffering or whatever alleviates a lot of the confusion of the world. But in the end, you have to do it. You have to work yourself. And especially you have to work in order to bring the future redemption. So what are we supposed to do in order to bring it, lahavi, to bring this future redemption? How can we prepare this? Okay, now just think about it 1 second. What are we supposed to do in order to prepare that the third temple, which I mean, I'm not a architect or anything, so I don't know, but I imagine it weighs, let's say, 1,000,000 tons. Huh? How much does a building weigh? I don't know. 1,000,000 tons, 30 million tons. Let's say it was 1,000,000 tons. Now, this the holy temple somehow or other it's existed. It's already ready. It already exists, and it's going to come from heaven. Now, what could we possibly do to bring the holy temple from heaven? What are you supposed to do? Right? Go out and bang on pots and pans or do some sort of a dance or something. What are we supposed to do? It used to be like these Indian tribes. This is what I heard, that when there was an eclipse of the sun, they would go out and bang on pots and pans, make it go away. And it worked. And it worked. It would go away every time. So maybe we're supposed to do that too. Who knows what would, right? But whatever it is, the result, the third temple. 1 second. I'm sorry. The result of the third temple is going to be something which is, incomprehensibly good. It's going to come and change the whole world. So what can we possibly do in order to bring? We'll see. Okay, first of all, let's understand what exactly this redemption is going to be. What is the whole idea behind it, right? Egypt, we already left Egypt. The Jews are scattered around the world. Just bringing them to Israel is not going to do the job. You have to change. They'll all leave. I mean, you don't have any idea how many Israelis left Israel? How many Israelis are living in California and Florida? That's packed, right? South Africa, this is packed with Israelis. Exactly the opposite of what the redemption is supposed to be. All the Jews are supposed to come, and it ends up that Israel is a place where Jews leave. They come. Okay, so what is it? What are we supposed to do? What are we working for? What are we working for? The third temple comes here, so people will come here. They'll take a picture. It'll be on the news. That's not going to make the Jews come to Israel. What's the whole idea of this future redemption? What's it going to be? The whole idea is in Geula. Geula is the future redemption. The name Geula, Kenhu benogea leGeula. The word Geula, here it is. See, Ha Geula, Gimel, Aleph, Vav, Lamed, He. Nita Nakabel, you can understand from examining the word, you can understand what is the content of this whole idea of Geula. Geula means the redemption. Inyan Geula, this whole idea of redemption, is we find in the Torah in different expressions. There's Parshas Va'era, and it's the second Torah portion in the book of Exodus. It says, God says, don't worry, he says to Egypt, he says to Moses, I'm going to take you out of Egypt. There's language that he says, don't worry, Hotseiti, Hitzalti, look right in the beginning of the Torah book. It says, I will take you out, I will save you, I will redeem you, I will take you, I will, another word, I will bring you, I will take you. Lakachti. Hotseiti, Hitzalti, Ga'alti, Velakachti. And there's another fifth language, I will bring you. So God says to Moses, I'm going to take you out of Egypt. I'm going to take you, I'm going to take you out, I'm going to take you out, I'm going to take you out. 5 language of taking out. One of those 5 languages is Geula. Even though that the intention of all these is exactly the same thing. In general, that God says, I'm going to take you out of Egypt. But he uses 5 different terms for that. Yeshno inyan, but there is, for some reason, the language Geula is special. The future redemption is going to be called the Geula. It's not going to be called the Hotza'ah or the Hetzalah or the Lakicha or the Haveya. It's called Geula. The word Geula, we can say that because of this certain, why is this word chosen, the word Geula? Because of this certain quality which is in the word Geula, that this especially shows on what's going to be in the future. Geula mitit v'shlema, a true and a complete redemption of all of the Jewish people. It's not going to revert back to exile. Lefi kol Yisrael, it's called the Geula. In our prayers also we say Goal Yisrael, that God will redeem the Jewish people. Goal, Geula means redeem, to take out. The same thing as being freed. Especially the last redemption, the true, complete redemption, is called by the name of Geula. Somehow or other, this must express the content. What is the content of the future redemption? What's going to be different? In the word Geula, we see an amazing thing. The word Geula, right, the future redemption, it's not called by any other name. Why is it called by this name? All the Jews are going to come to Israel. The temple is going to be built. There's not going to be world peace. The whole world will recognize the creator of the universe only. That's the word Geula expresses this better than any other word. Why? Because the word Geula are the same letters as exile. In the word Geula, take out the letter ALEF from Geula, from this amazing future redemption, enlightenment, change of the world, the whole entire world. This word expresses it more than anything else. Why? Because it's the same word as exile. Gola is the exile. That's galut. Ela with a tosefet aleph. Just add an aleph. Okay, the Jews, when they left Egypt, it was a massive, massive change. Massive change. And they really weren't able to internalize this change that occurred. The Jews, when they were in Egypt, like I said, we started the class, they were abject slaves. They had no dream of getting anything except for a little bit less work, a little bit alleviation of the tortures that they were in. Right? They didn't have, that's all they dreamed about. That the Jews had been slaves in Egypt for 4 generations. They had the minds of slaves. They had the hearts of slaves. They had the bodies of slaves. Their goals were goals of a slave. Their whole conception of what life is and what meaning is, what they thought day and night, was just slave mentality. That's all they were. And suddenly, all of a sudden, they left physically and emotionally and mentally. The Jews left Egypt. Massive change, right? They suddenly became a free people. They became God's people. They became the highest people in the world. They received the Torah. They were the chosen ones. They were this. Okay, but that already happened. That already happened. We're waiting for something in the future that's going to be infinitely greater than that. But how? Where are we going to leave? We're going to go to Mars or something? What are we going to be? And we're not slaves. We're all free. We got books. We have Torah. We're learning. We have synagogues. We have, right? We have the internet. We have what's going to be. What was going to be free? So says the Rebbe. That's exactly the future redemption. It's everything is going to be the same. It's going to be Gola. The world will be the same. Nothing is going to be. And when they left Egypt, they had to decimate Egypt. They had to kill all the evil Egyptians, whoever were evil. The ones that weren't evil, they remained alive. In the future, it's not going to be that way. Nothing is going to be removed necessarily. There's just going to be something added, the letter Aleph. Tosfos Aleph. Okay, the Ita Midrash, like it says in the Midrash, that in the word Gola, exile, like it says Gola al Roshon, it's a prophecy by, what is it? Zechariah, the prophecy of Zechariah. So it says the prophecy of Zechariah that he saw a Gola al Rosho, like there's a vessel, something on his head. So there's 2 meanings. One says Chad means Gola, means exile, and the other one means Geula. He saw what it was, an angel or something, and there was I have to look it up. And there was a Gola on his head. One says the word Gola means he saw the exile, and the other one means is that he saw the redemption. If you do it, it's known what it means, that that extra aleph, that by means of it transforms from Gola, exile, the worst possible situation that the world can be in, and Geula, which is the best possible situation, all potential is revealed. It's the same exact word with just an aleph added. Kai, this refers to, what is the aleph that's added? Alufa Sholom, God. So by means of the work of the Jewish people in exile, to bring in this ALEF, the oneness of God, the alufo shel olam. We'll see what the word alufo means, but let's say the master of the world into the exile, that transforms the whole entire exile to be redemption. It's almost like waking a person up. A person wakes up in the morning, right? Wakes up, the person is there. Everything is there. His talents, his personality, his knowledge, his memories, everything is there, but he's asleep, unconscious. And all you have to do is just put little smelling salts or something. Oop, wakes up. That's it. All of a sudden, it's a totally different person. But it's not a totally different person. It's the same person. The same as now we're in exile. We don't know who we are. We don't know really what a human being is. It says in the Torah, for instance, every human being is made in the image of God. You see that? You see the image of God in people. But it's there. It's certainly there. That's what the Geula will reveal. At first glance, is not understood. Geula is the exact opposite of exile. If so, how can it possibly be that the difference between the two of them, Geula in general, is just one little letter? How can it be that the future redemption will have in it all of the bad letters of Gola, of exile? Golos, and even more, Geula Murkevis, Vinasi Davka from Gola. The word, 4/5 of the word Geula, of redemption, is exile. How can that possibly be? It's like a person being free from prison, whatever, and then in order to be free from prison, but he has to walk around all the time with the prison walls around him, right? He has to walk around all the time with prison. They're just on wheels or something like that. But he can go wherever he wants to. He can do anything he wants. He can bring in their, his family or whatever it is, but he has to be in prison. Why remember it? Says the Rebbe even more. The future redemption is going to be 4/5 exile, and everything is going to be changed. How can it be? Until Sharov Osius, till the majority of this word Geula is really Gola. The majority is the word Gola, exile. So it's something like what I said, a person that he's in a coma, and then you wake him up, all of a sudden but when he's awake, he doesn't remember the coma anymore. He's not in the bad state. Why 4/5 of it are exile? So if so, we see from this that the change that we have to make in order to bring about this amazing positive change in the world where the good potential in every human being is revealed is not such a big change quantitatively, but qualitatively, we have to do something in order to make it happen. We have to wake up this person. Qualitatively, it's not a big deal. I'm sorry, quantitatively, we just move him, put a little smelling salts. But qualitatively, the person, all of a sudden, he's got a new life. His soul is inside him. It's like putting a soul inside of exile. So 4/5 of it remains exile, but all of a sudden there's a soul. Also, the first letters of Geula is the Gimel, and of Gola, right? Gola. The first are, all we have to do is add an Aleph. Maybe if we added an Aleph in the beginning, that would be different. We don't, we add it in the middle. What's the explanation on this? And this, God willing, we will continue in another 15 minutes. Well, let's see how long this is. At least we can start. Let's start this. Here we go. The explanation is like this. The word Geula doesn't mean that by means of going out of exile, that we will totally leave life. Like they left Egypt, they destroyed all of Egypt. They became totally new. They moved to a new place. They had new masters. Everything was different. The future redemption won't be that way. The future redemption will be that we will, that the things that we did in the exile, we had jobs, we had a wife, we have children, we have money. Exactly the opposite. The future redemption, it means that the existence of the world, Hametziut Shehaya Kodem, the existence of the world that was before when we were in exile, will be freed. Like I said, like the person who wakes up, everything will still be there. Nothing will change. Just one little tiny thing. There'll be a soul inside of it. Inside of everything in the world, we'll see how every stone, every animal, every plant, we'll see the purpose why God is creating it. The whole quality of the future redemption is that everything will be free. Freed will be, how do you say, released. Oh, Ein shum inyanim shenishtaru chas v'shalom avudim. There will be nothing in the world that will be lost in the exile. Lo yatiru shum inyan b'galut. Nothing will be remained in exile. What basically is exile? Exile is meaninglessness. That nothing has any real, true meaning to it. I feel even life has no meaning to it. You just live. I feel in nidachim ba'ovdim. It says even the most pushed away Jews, even the Jews that are totally lost, that's what the Torah calls them. They will be redeemed. Ha'geula, the future redemption, means that it will be a true redemption. Bekamut, also in quantity, and be'echud, and in quality, in everything. For instance, in this sick world, there's a lot of scientists and whatever it is, economists that say there's too many people in the world. Why? Too many people, not enough food. What you know what a human being is? A human being is an image of God. How can you say that there's too many of them? How could that possibly be? In the future, the whole idea of what humanity is will be revealed. It'll be released, and this will be every single, in general, and every single detail. Everyone and every single Jew, our children, our elders, our sons, our daughters, and everything in the world. It says the money that we have, our houses, everything that we've done in the exile, everything will be exactly the same, but it'll just be meaningful. It'll be released from meaninglessness. Everything in the world, every single detail. And this we'll take a short break. I'll come back, God willing, in, I hope, 15 minutes, and we'll resume. Okay. Here we go. Pause recording.